Good evening, YouTube. Welcome into my channel. Thank you for joining. Good evening on the replay and on the live viewers. Duty Ron here, a tired Duty Ron, checking in with you guys real quick to give you guys an update on Jussie Smollett and also Karina Vetrano. So we've got some additional information that I think is important for you guys to hear. So I'm going to wait for a couple more people to come in. I'm going to wait for a couple more people to show on up. Hi guys. Hi, hello MJ Doris. Good to see you. Good evening. Good evening. First one in. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. So we got a couple of things to speak about briefly tonight. I don't have much time because I'm going to get ready to go to bed soon. But good evening. How are you, Paula? Good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. So let me just let me share this real quick on social. Real quick. 2 seconds. Hey, Crystal. How are you? Good to see you. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you coming in. How's everybody doing? How's everyone's evening going? Good to see you. Hello, Serene. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Good evening. Hi, Wylia. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Let me create a post. Hey Sam, good to see you. How are you? Girly Gamer, good to see you. Thanks for joining. Good evening, good evening, good evening. 12 midnight here in New York City in the USA. 12 midnight here in the US of A. I had a long day today and I got an early one tomorrow. So I'm just going to be quick here. This is not going to be too long. You wanted to see the bird though. Bird is sleeping. It's after midnight, Crystal, and the bird is sleeping. Bird is sleeping. So it's past his bedtime. Hello from the south. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. So let me just do this real quick. Hi guys. So a lot to talk about, with these two cases. Things are going a little bit off the charts, a little haywire, a little bit off the rails with Jussie Smollett. I got to tell you, this case is over as far as the prosecution goes. The Cook County Prosecutor's Office, they're done with their case. But I see definitely federal, the FBI is already looking at the case as to why he was let off the hook so easy, but there's also the U.S. Postal Inspectors. I talked about postal inspectors from the beginning. So thank you, Sam. I appreciate it. Okay, soon, hope. Yes, soon we'll have the bird on, I promise. How are you, Shannon? Good to see you. So I believe that the federal prosecutors will get involved in reviewing this case. The Chicago PD has already released all their redacted documents, all of their investigation, and all of their paperwork in regards to the arrest of Jussie Smollett, the arrest of the two alleged perpetrators who really weren't perpetrators. Those were proven facts that he hired those two to commit the act, to stage that they were going to commit the act. So there's tons of proof, tons of evidence in regards to the crime, but that crime is done. What their feds are going to look to go after Jussie Smollett on is the federal charges involving mail fraud. The mail fraud, sending white powdery substance through the mail, is a federal crime. So, you know, it is really, really, that's the situation that he's going to have to really that's the situation that he's going to really have to worry about at the end of the day. The federal prosecutor is going to look, the postal inspectors, the postal authorities, they're going to look at the mailing of the letter with the white powdery substance, and that's going to be a situation. That's going to be a situation that's going to possibly come into play in the next few days. So that's a situation that's going to, I believe, is going to develop. I talked about it from the beginning. I was surprised that there was no action on it. You know, I was surprised that there was no action on it. But at the end of the day, there's the Cindy. There's also the Michelle Obama. Not her directly, but her people were involved in sort of brokering this deal. I've been reading about that, and I saw that as well. So Michelle Obama's staffers were in communication with the Cook County Prosecutor's Office, and there was well documented and well known conversations that went back and forth through Michelle Obama's chief of staff. So that's reported in the news, and that is a situation, if in fact true, that's going to come into play here as well. It's not going to be just swept under the rug. But yeah, unfortunately, people in high places it appears that way right now on this case. It appears that way on this case. This whole thing reeks of really bad stuff. It really reeks of bad stuff on the Michelle Obama front. Can't police file a suit civilly for expenses? Gail, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. So let me get this clip going for you guys, and you guys could listen to this.
So the prosecutor.
So this is just a small clip in regards to what's going on with Jussie Smollett.
Who dropped the Jussie Smollett case still thinks he's guilty.
Is Mr. Smollett innocent of the charges against him?
No, he is not. We stand behind their investigation. We stand behind our decision to charge him, and we stand behind our decision to bring the case to a grand jury.
Nuts. And to be honest, Wolf, even Kamala Harris is completely confused.
To be perfectly honest with you, Wolf, I'm completely confused. I don't understand. I don't know. I
2020
don't know
presidential
evidence.
candidate.
I have, you know, there's a sealed document, obviously. I don't know. I'm at a loss.
Join the club. So far, the number of people who actually think Smollett is innocent
Hi, Red Lotus.
is less than the number
Hey,
who
Manny.
attacked him that night. But it doesn't matter, because a deal was made. As for claims that Smollett got special treatment, the prosecutor, Joe Maggots, lamely points out that no, Smollett did community service and forfeited his bond. Okay, never mind then. And so a deal was made. And what a deal. 16 hours community service and $10K in exchange for dropping charges. I want his lawyer. But that's no exoneration. That's an admission of guilt. But it doesn't matter, because a deal was made. By the way, that 16 hours was spent at Jesse Jackson's coalition office, meaning it was probably a nap. Meanwhile, the same media that milked make-believe collusion for 2 years say that with Smollett, you know what? I guess we'll never know.
The narrative has once again changed from victim, to villain, back to victim. It's been very confusing, as Ryan was saying. People don't know what to believe, and we may never really know what happened on the street that night in Chicago.
We may never know. Let's be precise. Stelter will never know, and neither will CNN viewers. Because remember, they don't investigate, they just put it out there. The rest of us know what happened. A fake hate crime was blamed on Trump supporters, and then a deal was made. I gotta say, whoever pulled the strings for Smollett has more juice than a Minute Maid factory. And if the two Nigerians talk, the words certainly won't be theirs. Sadly, if a hate crime hoaxer gets away with this, then there will be more. But one piece of advice, if you're thinking about doing it, get famous first. Then a deal will be made. All right, Jesse, the conclusion basically is that he staged the attack, but the prosecutors just felt it was too low priority and nonviolent, so why bother? Is that what it was?
Yeah, and he's loaded and famous and well connected.
So
to
it's a
the
good.
Obamas.
It's good for us,
Right.
Because if you have,
if we ever do anything, we might be able to get a jail-free card.
I'm not even that famous.
Which I may need one of these days. So the state's attorney, Fox XX, huge Democrat, big political animal. She takes her orders from Cook County Board President Tony Preckwinkle. Okay, she doesn't do anything unless Preckwinkle says so. Preckwinkle runs the town, all right? She's running for mayor to replace Rahm. This is how Chicago works, okay?
What's his name?
Tony is a female.
No,
her name is Preckwinkle.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, and Fox XX there has worked for Preckwinkle for 10 years. This is how the whole system in Chicago works. Most corrupt city in the country. Remember, they tried to sell Obama's Senate seat when he ran for president. Fox has also been accused of trading political
Most corrupt
donations
city in the
to
country.
get felons out of prison. She's been accused 3 times of doing that. Also, she's been exchanging emails and text messages with Michelle Obama's people. Michelle Obama's people have been discussing things with Smollett's family members. And the guy's rich and famous, so there you have
There
it.
you
And
go.
in this
There's
country,
Michelle
Greg,
Obama.
thankfully, sometimes for us, rich and famous people will get off if they're well connected. In the
Fortunately.
in the worst cases, you have like, O.J. Simpson. You have Jeffrey Epstein. And then in the small ball situations...
Don't forget Donald Trump.
Okay, Juan, we'll get to you in a minute. And then you have like the Justin Bieber or the, Paris Hilton, the DUI situation, they can get off. That's small ball stuff. But the worst part about this is they spit in the eye of the Chicago police, and they did it in plain sight because they wasted, 1,000 hours on this, reviewing video surveillance. 24 detectives were reassigned, and now they're just going to say goodbye. It's sad and it's disgusting, and now these things are going to happen more because there's no punishment.
Do you think this is a story about class? It started out about race
Sad and disgusting.
sexuality, but it is about class, and there is a separate class. It's like if you're a celebrity, you just get some serious perks.
People were hashtagging green privilege at the time. And it's true. It's all about money. It's all about power. It's the connection with the Obamas. And this guy's out there. I mean, he's audacious, too.
Privilege.
He's out there and he's saying, oh, I'm innocent. How are you saying you're innocent when the prosecutor is out there saying you're not innocent? In fact, the prosecutor said the fact that Smollett feels we have exonerated him, we have not. I can't make it any clearer. So the fact that and then you have Fox Entertainment, and then you have the Empire writers out there tweeting things like, wink, see you Wednesday. I mean,
I'm
it's
sure
really
Fox Entertainment was not involved at all.
It's a slap in the face, though, to people, really. I mean, you'd say, oh, it's not a nonviolent crime. This guy faked a hate crime. This is $150,000. This is the whole police force. He should have had to apologize at minimum. He should have had to pay that money back for all of that damage that was done, all of those funds taken away from resources that Chicago needed. And the fact of the matter is the guy's not innocent. He's just well connected. The average person that went through this, they would be going to jail. They would be going to a grand jury, they'd be getting indicted, and they'd be going to jail.
Juan, can I play you? I'm going to play you Rahm talking about this, and I want to talk about this, the pitting these Obama chief of staffs against each other. Let's go to that.
State's attorney's office saying he's not exonerated. He actually did commit this hoax. He's saying
Here's
he's
the
innocent
Obama
and his
part.
words are true. They better get their story straight, because this is actually making a fools of all of us. This looks like because he's an actor, a person of influence, he got treated differently than anybody else.
So Juan, you have two kind of Obama chiefs of staff. You got Rahm and you have Tina Chen, who's Michelle's. Is this more like kind of an interscene battle now that America is watching, but it's really about Chicago? Like, are we?
Well, I think Chicago's part of the story, but I mean, to me, I'm alarmed at the response from you guys, because
why?
You know why? I think we live in a country of laws, not mobs, and that mob can't be right-wing talk radio and say, "Oh, this guy
like
was
Rahm Emanuel,
Trump or something like that." You can't have that.
I'm done with this guy. Anyways, so at the end of the day, they spoke about Michelle Obama's people getting involved in this. There's many documented communications back and forth from Michelle Obama's executive staff going to bat for this guy. And nobody should be going to bat for someone who has committed such a heinous hate crime, fake, made up political lynching and nonsense that he did. Nobody should be sticking up for this guy. So I can't wait for the FBI to get involved in this, and I'm hoping that it happens sooner than later. So let me say hello to a couple of people who came in. Red Lotus, thank you for being in here. Thank you for hanging out. Matt Sully, good to see you. Joey Brooklyn _ 67, thank you for being in here. And I appreciate each and every one of you coming in. So this case reeks of corruption on every kind of level when it comes to brokering deals and behind the scenes. These reporters said something really well. They said if it was you or I, meaning the common man and the common woman, if any of us was involved in anything like this, we would be still in jail and there would be no deal made for us. So what makes Jussie Smollett so special? He's wealthy and he has connections to a former highest ranking official, the Obamas. The President of the United States, the First Lady is in his corner and calling up the Cook County Prosecutor's Office. Maybe it wasn't her herself, but it's her chief of staff, the people who are running her after presidency camp are on the phone with their political pull and brokering a deal for some scumbag that has taken our community and taken America 30 steps back, effectively taken 20 years of race relations and political relations and setting them back. So anybody that comes to the defense of somebody like that is a pitiful human being. And for Michelle Obama to have a #1 best-selling book out there, this has got to be a real. I hope this is like going to be a mark against her, and some people might open their eyes up and see what she's all about. And that's not cool to do that. Prior to this, I had nothing bad to say about her at all. But now that I'm hearing this kind of stuff, then I hope whatever happens, happens, wherever the chips may fall. But, I call it as I see it. And prior to this, I didn't really have a bad word to say about her. But if she, in fact, and her people are involved in this, and this is true, then I've lost all respect for Michelle Obama. And the justice system, for me, has just gone down the toilet. I'm just watching it go down the drain, like when you flush the toilet. It's just a bunch of crap going down. So opinions vary in regards to that, but like I said, for me, this is a big slap in the face for justice. So I'm hoping that the postal inspectors and the FBI, the feds, get involved. The mailing of that Make America Great, the MAGA envelope with the white powder, allegedly anthrax, that's a federal crime. So I'm hoping that the postal inspectors and all of the federal authorities get involved in investigating that. The police released the redacted police reports and evidence. I read over them. It's a bunch of documents that doesn't really mean anything. It's just, for me, it's regular police mumbo jumbo, and all it does is say, we arrested Jussie Smollett, we arrested those twins, the twin Nigerians. We released the twin Nigerians once we as police discovered that the whole thing was a hoax, and then we arrested Jussie Smollett. So basically that's what I read in a nutshell. There was a lot of mumbo jumbo in there. FBI cannot reinstate the charges, but they can add new charges. He was not charged with any federal crimes. So this could be new federal charges that are brought forward in regards to this case. So hello, Guy and Jackie. Hello, Jackie. Good to see you. And I was extremely sad to hear that he used hate laws. Yeah. He did a lot of horrible things. and now he's going forward and just saying that, you know, he's a victim, you know. I don't know, Jen, I don't know, but that's how the news is referring to them as two brothers from Nigeria. So they were from Nigeria. I don't know what the situation is. But anyways, hello TTNZ, good to see you TTNZ. Welcome, welcome into the broadcast. So let's move on. I don't like to go over things over and over. There's nothing more to talk about this other than this is a travesty. As the mayor said, it was a travesty of justice. This takes our criminal justice system and the courts and puts it in a really bad place, a really bad place. Because the brothers didn't commit any crime. They were supposedly the two perpetrators of the made-up crime. Once the police and the detectives realized that the brothers were not part of a crime, they were paid $3,500 by Jussie Smollett. He wrote them a check to make like they were making this crime. They never did anything. They didn't commit any crime. So that's why they were released. I don't know, Amanda. It doesn't matter to me. This is just, that's really not the point. I don't really care about where they're from. They were released as the media and the news is referring to them as the two Nigerian brothers. Maybe they have family from there and they have their background is from there. You know, maybe that's where their parents are from, and they supposedly went over there and are now outside the U.S. in Nigeria. So whatever, it really doesn't matter in this. As far as I'm concerned, it's just part of the formalities. Who cares where they're from? I don't give two flying shits. They were paid by Jussie Smollett to purport and to concoct this crazy crime that never happened. So hello, Meg. Good to see you, Meg. Why did I not know? Why did I not know you were gonna be live? I couldn't. I can't fall asleep. This is just bothering me, so I got to get this off my chest. So here I am live. Hi, Sonia. Good to see you. Hope you're feeling good. I hope you're getting ready for bed soon to get some rest. So, anyways, let's move on. Let's get off of this Jussie Smollett. So yeah, he is furious, Madeline, and he's got every right to be furious. He's got every right to be furious. They're not, Jennifer, again, those two are not, they are not charged with any crimes. They're free. They were just paid by Jussie Smollett to purport to turn to fake like they were part of this crazy concocted hate crime. They didn't do anything wrong. So, anyways, thank you for those links, Red Lotus. We're going to move on. We're going to move on, guys. Hello, Honey Badger. So today was day 8 in the Karina Vetrano trial. The Karina Vetrano trial is, thank you, Alyssa. I appreciate that. Thank you, Alyssa. Karina Vetrano trial is in day 8. And today in the Karina Vetrano trial, the prosecutors brought in the medical examiner. And the medical examiner on the second go around, this is the second time she's testifying, in her second round of testifying on the second trial here, the medical examiner brought up a point that wasn't brought up in the first trial. The autopsy that she conducted on Karina Vetrano, she went over in details with photos and slideshows and photos of gruesome autopsy photographs. Karina Vetrano's parents, her father and her mother, both again leaned down in the pews and wouldn't look. I don't blame them. The parents both didn't look at the photographs and the slideshows that were being played. The medical examiner went over all of the injuries to Karina Vetrano. She was murdered while she was jogging in August of 2016. She was strangled, sexually abused, and beaten very badly about the face. She's beaten very badly about the face. Some new evidence was brought up by the medical examiner that wasn't brought up in the first trial, is that the medical reports on the perpetrator, he went, as you guys know, he went and he had to seek medical attention on the first day after. So August 2nd is when he killed her and beat her. August 3rd, he went to Downstate Medical Center here in Brooklyn. He went to Downstate Medical Center to get treatment for scratches to his face and injuries to his hand and his knuckles. And inside his hands and his knuckles, there was DNA and biological, they called it fragments removed from his hands. The doctors at Downstate preserved all of the, in their reports, there was fragments of her teeth, of the defendant's teeth. She had broken teeth. Remember I told you he broke her teeth from punching her? There was fragments of her teeth in his hand, people. So that, and also saliva from inside her mouth. Her teeth broke because she had bonding done to her front teeth. And as we know, bonding is just a procedure that's bonded onto the front of your teeth. So when he punched her and punched her and punched her and punched her, parts of her bonding from her teeth were recovered from his hand. The doctor who treated him said this was typical of a boxer, of a boxing fight. Somebody punches someone in the face and breaks their teeth, and parts of the fragment go into this guy's, into your hand. That's what was revealed in the second trial here. So it is what it is. We have to say to ourselves, how much evidence do you need to get a conviction here? And it's to my understanding from my court officer contacts, the court officers who are my contacts down in Queens Supreme Court, is this trial may wrap up tomorrow or Friday. This trial may wrap up tomorrow or Friday and go to deliberations. So I'm going to try to tomorrow sneak in a visit down to the courthouse or a phone call from my friend. He said he will call me if he thinks that the prosecution's wrapping up. I want to be in the courtroom for the wrap up, for the final charging of the jury. I want to hear it because I heard the opening statement and I want to hear the closing. So if that's the case, I'm going to run down to Queens Supreme Court is 15 minutes from where I live, 15 or 20 minutes. So if it's wrapping up tomorrow, I want to be there. So I'm gonna be in close contact with my court officer friend down at the Supreme Court. So I'm going to show you real quick. This is just going to be an article. It's not going to be a video. So basically here is autopsy photos of Karina Vetrano shown in retrial of her alleged killer. This is a picture of the medical examiner. Hey Ron, coming into the chat. Hello Joe Schmo, good to see you. Thank you for that, MJ. Thank you for MJ. Thank you for the prayers for her family. So Dr. It looks like Margaret Prial did the autopsy on Howard Beach jogger Karina Vetrano. This is a picture of her as she exits the courtroom after testifying. So this is the medical examiner who conducted the autopsy on this 30-year-old jogger. Using autopsy photos that drew gasps from the courtroom spectators, the city medical examiner described for the Queens jury on Wednesday the injuries Howard Beach jogger Karina Vetrano sustained when she was strangled during a run near her home in summer of 2016. Dr. Margaret Prial told jurors in the trial of Chanel Lewis that the petite Vetrano suffered multiple abrasions, contusions, cuts and bruises, as well as injuries that were sexual in nature. The display of graphic images of their daughter caused Kathy Vetrano and Phil Vetrano to bend down and hug each other to avoid looking at the pictures. Dr. Prial, who has been with the medical examiner's office for more than 2 decades, performed the autopsy on the 30-year-old. Chanel Lewis, 22, of Brooklyn, is being retried on murder and sexual abuse charges in connection with Karina Vetrano's murder. In a new twist for the retrial, Queens prosecutors used Dr. Pryles, who has also testified in the last trial, to introduce additional microscopic evidence from Lewis's outpatient hospital treatment for his hand injury after Vetrano died. Prosecutors with the Queens District Attorney's Office contend that the injury to Lewis's right hand was sustained as he punched the 4'11" Vetrano in the park during his fit of anger. They're using Lewis's medical records from treatment at Sunny Downstate Medical Center in Brooklyn to build a more extensive collection of circumstantial evidence against him. An x-ray of Lewis's right hand indicates a tiny foreign object near the cut fifth metacarpal joint on his right hand, which one doctor says was a classic boxing injury, as an assessed, in which the doctor agreed that that was an appropriate assessment. The foreign object wasn't identified by Pryles, indicated it could have been a chip from her broken tooth that was bonded in her mouth. Dr. Pryles also said lab culture showed Lewis had 4 types of bacteria in the cut on his hand. 2 types generally found in human mouth saliva, one in feces and another one in brackwash water. Lewis confessed to trying to clean his hand he injured at the scene in a dirty puddle of water after he beat and killed Vetrano, but he also denied sexually abusing her. So Dr. Pryles said the extensive bruising and scraping to Vetrano's neck, chin, indicate that the hands of her attacker enveloped her throat. Asked by the district attorney, Brad Leventhal, what was the cause of death, Dr. Pryles answered strangulation. That was the cause of death, strangulation. The autopsy also revealed deep internal lacerations to Vetrano's genitalia area with signs of fresh bleeding. So she was bleeding inside. Dr. Pryles said prosecutors and police have alleged that Lewis not only strangled Vetrano but sexually abused her. And this statement coincides with what police and the detectives are saying happened to her. Defense attorney, that's the attorney for the defendant, Julie Burke, got Dr. Pryles to admit that she didn't know from the autopsy how many people attacked Vetrano. But Dr. Pryles pushed back at the defense when Burke suggested in her questioning that it was odd that the hyoid bone in Vetrano's throat wasn't broken. Dr. Pryles told Burke, that's the defense attorney, she has done plenty of strangulation autopsies where that bone and the larynx were fully intact. So she was refuting her, the defense. The doctor shut the defense down and told her, hey, I've done many autopsies on strangulation victims and they didn't have to have that bone broken to have strangulation. So they're trying to refute every bit of evidence and every bit of forensic evidence against their client. This guy is guilty 6 ways to Sunday. There's nothing that tells me that this guy is an innocent, just an innocent guy that was walking through the park. That's a bunch of bullcrap. So, so this case could be closing up as early as tomorrow, guys. They could be finishing up and wrapping up this case. And if they, in fact, are wrapping up this case, he did not know his victim. This was a crime of chance. This was a crime of chance. If you go and watch some of my previous broadcasts, I break down the whole thing from beginning to end. So his DNA is on her in every which way. MJ, 100%. Under her fingernails, on her neck, on her cell phone. You don't get internal injuries. You don't get internal injuries, lacerations on the inside of your genitalia from just nothing happening. There had to have been a foreign object or something whether they said in the article I read, whether it was a finger, a stick, or something, she was sexually abused in both of her private areas. And that in itself is horrific. And I hate to even mention it, but it is a fact. It is a fact medically that she was sexually assaulted. This case is just reeking of disgusting behavior, and I'm so happy that this guy has been behind bars since day one, and I don't want to see him see the light of day ever again. So I'm hoping and I'm praying, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that the jury comes to a rash, sensible, guilty verdict on all of the charges. And you know what? In my eyes, even if they don't convict him on the sexual assault charges, as long as he's charged with the murder, he doesn't see the light of day. So I'm talking about my professional opinion on this is if we get a conviction on first degree and second degree murder, as long as it's not second, if they get a conviction on first degree murder, I'm happy, because then he never gets to see, then it's life in prison. If the sexual abuse charges are no conviction and not guilty, then so be it. But he will still never see the light of day. And that, to me, is justice. It probably won't sit well with the family, and it might not sit well with regular, everyday people. But me as a police officer and as a detective, I say if he gets the conviction on first degree murder, that's life in prison. And now that piece of crap won't get to see the light of day. So, exactly. So, I mean, this is just a horrific case that reeks of disgusting, vile behavior by a subhuman that doesn't need to be walking out on the street. If he's found not guilty, I don't know what. I mean, I would lose my mind if that happened. I don't even know what I would, like, that would blow my mind. That would blow my mind. So, according to what I just saw with Jussie Smollett, I mean, anything is possible. But I would say that I have a very high percentage. I'm looking at 80% or higher a guilty verdict. But I am going to be in that courtroom when that verdict is read. I'm going to be in the courtroom and I'm going to hear it with my own ears. So I'm going to be there. I'm going to bring it to you live after the fact. After I hear that verdict, I'm going to get on my phone and I'm going to tweet it. I'm going to tweet it on Twitter, and then I'm going to go outside the court and make a broadcast about it. So look for that from me. In the coming days. The jury is going to deliberate after they give closing arguments, which supposedly from my sources could be as early as tomorrow. So if I get the phone call and they're closing arguments tomorrow, I'm racing down to the court and I want to hear the closing argument, and then I'm going to come back when there's a verdict, when the verdict is read. So I'm going to do my best to do that for us, for the YouTube community, for my channel, for all of my friends and subscribers. I'm going to do the best that I can in regards to that. Hello, Selena. Good to see you, Selena. Thanks for joining. Jailhouse justice coming soon. Don't forget, people, he's been arrested for 2 years now. He's been behind bars since February of 2017. So he hasn't been out in the light of day since 2017, which is a good thing. He never saw the light of day after he got arrested. So, and he's been having a really hard time in jail. He's been getting beat up, and he's also been he's made allegations that prisoners are putting feces, urine, and ejaculate in his food. These are I'm not saying this. These are the things that I read. So I'm not just making this up. This is articles that I read from local newspapers here, that he's finding all kinds of foreign objects in his food. And I don't know if that's true or not. Ron, park in a parking garage so you don't get a ticket. Yes, I learned my lesson, Trevor. I will be parking in a municipal parking lot. That I can promise you. His family is, of course, saying he was coerced into confessions. It makes me sick with DNA. Exactly. Chris, I saw his whole family. I saw his mom and his dad, and I saw all of the people that were on his side, and it was disgraceful. I didn't even give them the time of day. I didn't even look at them, you know. Chat is slow, but love everyone. I slowed the chat down in anticipation of more people coming in. There's only 73 in here, so I could potentially shut that down. Hello, Marie. Good to see you. 2 nights in a row, Marie. We got to stop. We got to stop meeting like that. We got to stop meeting like this. But good to see you, Marie, from the great state of Texas. Always good to have you in. I'm having a hard time with sound. Is it low to anybody? I don't know. The sound should be good. The sound should be good. Honey Badger, maybe you should turn up your hearing aid. Maybe you should put up your hearing aid a little higher. I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. That was not a nice joke. I just figured I'd throw that in there to make everybody laugh. Honey Badger, turn your hearing aid up. Can you please turn it up, Sonny? Sorry. Sorry, Honey Badger. You're probably younger than me. You're probably younger than me. Sound is great. Yeah. I will sleep better tonight knowing that his prison buddies don't like him. Yes, they're taking good care of him. His prison buddies are taking good care of him. By a show of hands, do we have good sound? Sound is good. Sound is good. Okay. Hold on, Shunny. Let me turn on my hearing aid. Honey Badger, turn it up. Turn it up. Turn it up. I'm sorry, Honey Badger. I'm sorry. The devil made me do it. The devil made me do it. Ron has a wicked sense of humor. When is the Yankees home opener? Are they starting tomorrow? Did I hear that? They're going to start tomorrow? Urine with ice and semen sandwiches. That sounds like such yummy. Honey Badger, why I outta? Why I outta? What, Honey Badger? Hold on, let me crank it up. Yeah, there's always one in the crowd, guys. It's okay. It's all right. It's no problem. I love Honey Badger. I agree, Patty. I agree. He should be locked up for good. There's no redeeming someone like him. My daughter was drugged and raped at a college party. Oh my God. Her attacker got away with it. What? One for good sound. One for good sound. That is horrible, Patty. I'm so sorry to hear that. So sorry to hear that. That stuff makes my blood boil. Ron, sound is fine. It was a great joke. Thank you, Betty. And the joke was made with love and respect. So don't take it the wrong way, Honey Badger. I thought it was funny to just go with that. But I should have decent audio. It should sound good. So, is he special needs? No, Debbie, he is not. That is a N-O, no. Served on a silver platter. There you go. There you go. Anybody here catch Joey Brooklyn's? I'm not buttsore at all. It's all good. 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 Honey Badger. Honey Badger. I'm going to talk louder for you. I'm going to speak louder for you, Honey Badger. Yeah, so Joey Brooklyn, Joey BKLYN _67. Go check out his live broadcast. He did a sunset in New York Harbor today, overlooking the Vetrano Bridge. So go check out Joey Brooklyn _67. He did a great broadcast. Thank you, Red Lotus. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So he did a great broadcast. I'm late, Ron. It's wrapping up. It is. I am getting ready to wrap up. So you're gonna have to watch the replay. Sound is good and you look good to boot, says Marie E.S. Well, Marie, I owe you $20, I think. I think I owe you $20. He's competent to stand trial. Yes, yes, he is. Janet Williams, you're late to the party. Drinks are already been served. Drinks have been served and we are wrapping it up. Thank you so much for the super chat. I long to have a job where my passion is my job. Wow. What a statement, Alyssa. I love it. I love that statement, though. I long to have a job where my passion is my job. That is a great statement right there. Joey Sunset was beautiful. Thank you so much, Alyssa, for the generous super chat. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Thank you. Alyssa, send me an email at dutyron@aol.com and provide me with your address. I have a special thank you card that I'd like to send to you if you want it. If you don't want it, then don't send me the email. But I'd like to send you, as my way of saying thanks, a special thank you card for the super chat, Alyssa. Send it to me if you want. 70 in the house, doing well. 70 in the house, doing well. Oh, you mean 70 in the chat? I see 67, but who am I to judge? I don't even know. So, hold on a second. Say hi, Ron. Bow wow wow, yippee yo, yippee yay, bow wow, yippee yo, bow wow, Frazzy. Hi, Frazzy. How are you, bow wow? Was that good enough? Was that good, bow wow? How was that, bow wow wow? Good night, Ron, from Mexico. New Mexico, good night, good night. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for being here. Whoever is late to the party, but the next time around, yes, whoever's late to the party has to buy the drinks next time. So whoever's late here has to buy the drinks on the next go around. All right. I show 66 people in here. Let's see what I can do about inviting some followers. Let me see if I can invite on Snapchat and get some people in. I'm going to take 5 minutes of a Q&A. I'm going to take 5 minutes of Q&A if you guys want to send me some questions. But before you do the Q&A, thank you so much, MJ, for the super chat. MJ Doris, thank you. Here's a little bit for parking. MJ, that's adorable. She's sending me super chat towards the parking. So thank you for that. I appreciate that, MJ. Send me an email. I'd like to send you a thank you. It's up to you. dutyron@AOL. Just mark on the email super chat so I know to send you a little something. I like to send little thank yous to people who send the super chats. So it's just my way of saying thanks. So, what the hell was I just saying? Okay. So I want to take some questions from people, but I also want to get, if anybody's new, I'd like to know where you're watching from, city and state, so I could give you a shout out, or your country. So let me know if you're new. If you're not new, then don't tell me where you're from, because I already know. So go ahead. Let me know where your city and state is if you're new in the Duty Ron chat. Let me know. Where's the best place to buy hearing aids? Well, Shani, let me turn mine up first. Hold on, could you repeat that? I didn't hear you. Singapore sling, please. There you go. Duty Ron, did the first jury say why they did not convict? They didn't say why, but they weren't given, welcome in from San Diego, they weren't given enough time by the judge. The judge declared a hung jury too fast, and it's well documented that he messed up, that they could have come to a verdict, but he didn't give them enough time. 5 a.m. here. Everyone have a great day. I'm now going. Betty Barclay, thank you for being in here at 5 a.m. Where am I from? Don't start with the tests, Cheryl. Don't start with the tests for me. But I know that you are a Patreon supporter of mine, so thank you for that. And thank you to all my Patreon supporters. Bow Wow is laughing his ass off, laughing her ass off. Rockland County, Philadelphia. Welcome in. Rockland County, Philadelphia. Good to see you. And by the way, I sent a message on Patreon to you. I don't know if you checked it, but I sent the message to you on Patreon. So please check your Patreon. Hello from Kansas. Good to see you, Kansas. Honey Badger's hearing aid. Well, Shunny. Well, Shunny. Well, Shunny. Shunny. Nice to know I'm still new a few weeks. There you go. LOL. There you go. So what else do we got going on? So not too many new people here. Welcome in from Canada, Guy and Jackie, but you're not new, so blah 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 blah. Ron, when is the pool party? It's in the summer. Pool party would be in the summer. Okay, so any questions other than about the jury? Why didn't they give the? Why was there a hung jury? The judge rushed to call a hung jury too fast, so the judge kind of screwed that one up, because they seem to have thought that they would have been able to come to a verdict. They were 7 guilty, 5 not guilty. They were 7-5. So I have not. Wildlife. I have not. I'm waiting for the Duty Ron merch cup to be added so I can have my green tea in it. Trevor, I'm going to do that right after I'm done here. Alyssa with the hearts. I love it. Are you considering a podcast series? No, I am not. I don't like podcasts. I am a live broadcaster. I like this, interactive broadcasting. I wouldn't like a podcast because it would be very impersonable. I like to be personable with my audience. I'd like to engage with you guys. And you know, I say this to a lot of people, like, if you don't like this kind of engagement, then I'm probably not for you. You know, questions about any case? Question mark? Question mark? I don't know. I don't know how to take that. Bow wow wow yippee-yo yippee-yay. Bow wow yippee-yo yippee-yay. How about a miracle new body? I hope for that too myself. I hope for that too myself. Goodbye, Rachel. Goodbye. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. I gotta run. Have to get up early for work. Thank you, Red Lotus. I appreciate you. Have a great evening and have a good day at work tomorrow. I'll talk to you soon. I hope we can get to chat soon on text message. I hope we can chat a little bit. Black Rose is here, picking up the slack. Hello, Black Rose. Do you know any Chicago policemen to get an idea of what they're thinking? No, I don't, Cindy. I don't. Is any new information about this trial that wasn't last trial, if you already answered? I did answer today. About a half hour ago, I spoke about the medical examiner bringing extra information about parts of her tooth recovered from the defendant's hand when he went to go get his medical attention the next day. Bow Wow says, can we speak about any other cases? You can, but if I don't know about them, I won't have any answers. So I think it would be a waste of your time. So that's the story, and I'm sticking to it. That's the story, and I'm sticking to it. So I'm gonna pack it in. I think I'm gonna go to bed. I'm kind of tired. Oh shit! It's past 1 o'clock. All right, guys. Listen. Thank you all for being in here. Love and respect from Duty Ron. I'm out the door. I gotta go to sleep. I gotta get up early tomorrow because I might have to run to the courthouse if they're closing up. So I will talk to you soon. What is your opinion about the feds taking action against Jussie Smollett for at least his post office offense or any other? I think it's a great thing, Joe Schmo. I think the feds should go get him. Go get him, feds. Go scoop this guy up, lock him up, and charge him federally. So good night all. Matt, MJ, Wildlife, Girly Gamer, Cheryl, Cindy, Joey Brooklyn. Go subscribe to Joey Brooklyn _67. Guys, have a good night. Gail, thank you so much for coming in here. Child serial killer, 22 cases reopened, FYI. Gail, thank you for that. I'll take a peek at it. Crystal, see you soon. Veronica, good night. Matt, love and respect to you and your family. Trevor, thank you so much. because they don't have to report that stuff because they didn't even know that the guy was a criminal. They were treating him as a medical treatment of somebody that was injured. They're under no obligation to tell the police that if somebody comes in for just a regular whatever. Good night, Janet. Good night, Cat in a Hat. Thank you for the super chat, everybody. Thank you for the super chat. Don't forget to send me emails so I can send you a nice thank you, Alyssa, and everybody who sent super chat. So good night, all. Love and respect from Duty Ron. Peace. I'm Audi 5000.